And we are live. Hello, everyone. This is Ninja DC joining again for a podcast. I did it right this time. Joining in for a podcast this time on Centaurworld. But joining me again is going by random Skype order. Jenn. Oh no, wait. Actually, Second and Day.
Second day, yay!
Second day away. Here in America at last, in one account on Skype, ready to bring you as much enthusiasm as ever!
Yes, it's going to be so
Or something.
fun. We have to have something to take the edge off the ponies.
What she said.
Alright. Next up, Jenn.
I may be first, I may be last, I may be late for dinner, but I'm first and always Jenn. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this Friday night. Woo! Friday night 24-bit reactions. Woo!
All right, and ironically, this is the one instance where you're not first or last.
That's all right.
Those things like I was like, ironically right in the middle. And then next up, Carlos.
Hello there, this is Gunmetal Gator here, just telling you all, how do you do? Hello, I hope you're having a great day. I'm just chilling here in the sewers, just enjoying a nice relaxing spa day in the heats of August.
That reminds me, like, I guess, actually I would ask Day another time how you think about the weather, but yeah, speaking of like August, yeah, that's, temperature does a weird thing around in summer. Like everyone thinks July is the hottest, but like there's that weird, at least in our area, I don't know if you notice the same, Jenn, where like the temperature like goes down a little at the end, early August, and at the end of August and early September, like the temperature seems to jump back up again.
Oh yeah, yeah. We have that little bit of what they call, I think the term is Indian summer.
Yeah.
Something like that. I think that's the term, but I'm not 100%. But either way, we attribute that to we're living in a region where if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. And if you like the weather, wait 5 minutes.
But let me see what I was going to say. But I guess with introductions, does anyone want to go first with what they've been up to?
Well,
We have been on a movie binge,
yes,
if that strikes anyone's fancy.
that's true.
Many
Which
of them
movies?
animated, because, yeah, we gotta live up to being members of this podcast somehow.
And also finally being together in real life.
Oh, yeah, that or something.
Yeah.
Hey. Yes. Real-time, shipping brony romance story.
Yay!
The ship is sailing. The ship is sailing. And hopefully for nothing but smooth seas ahead.
Yeah.
Here. But okay, movie list to check out. Recommendations. We got Wish Dragon, which we watched after Cell Specs gave this ringing endorsement to it. She said, and I quote, the most I've ever wanted to use the word perfect in describing a movie on this show.
Yeah.
Actually, that's more like loosely quoted.
Well, I had it like, if you like Aladdin, you will like this movie.
Well, what she meant was the tropes are sort of like remixed to, so you have pretty much no moments that are like, oh, of course, that instead just to make it go down very easy, like no liar revealed trope, the part about, because yeah, Dave said it is an Aladdin remix, but yeah, the part about sneaking in as a prince is more like, yeah, because he has to get closer to the person he's trying to see, who in this case is an old childhood friend he's trying to reunite with, and I think the strongest part of the whole movie was their childhood friendship, which was just like almost exhilarating as a depiction of what it's like to hit it off with someone who gets you that much. But has to sneak in to get close to her, and when it's like the chance to talk alone, he doesn't like double down on the notion that he's someone he's not very much. So yeah, there was that. There was just a lot of like the thing about what about wasting wishes? What about the dragon? In this case, it's a wish dragon instead of a genie. What about his need to be free? Like it finesses away its way around all of those being a drag. So that was cool. We saw Luca and Raya the Last Dragon, the two.
Definitely recommending Luca.
I think those are still the like Disney and Pixar's big deals right now, or as close as they're getting for the moment. I don't know if they haven't moved on to the next ones yet, have they?
How were those?
Like Luca is really beautiful, amazing, and have a really, really good message. Like it hits you right in the heart.
Yeah, Luca, I mean, it's, how would I say it? If Wall-E, Up, those kinds of movies are feasts, Luca is a little box of dynamite bonbons. It's like, I mean, it's, well, at first it'll be very, very familiar, but it doesn't, like, revel in that too much before it starts to spin what it actually wanted to do, which is pretty much just the characters. It wants to, like, take you into, the lives of its characters. It's been compared to a Miyazaki movie, and not facetiously, just like a beautifully drawn little town and the coming of age stories of the characters who inhabit it for much of the movie. It's so yeah, very well done that way. Like it's in a weird category where I can't say it's like Pixar's great. I also can't say it's Pixar light. It's a very
it's one of my favorites now, that's for sure.
Interesting.
Top 5.
But yeah, very like it's a it's like a narratively light movie that nails a lot of what it does do. So as you like it there. Raya the Last Dragon, like
it was good, but it was like you said at one point it looked like Avatar, right?
Well, adventure stories. I mean, there's been a lot of metaphorical blood spilled over comments like, "Oh, it's an Avatar redux." So I mean, like, if anyone is saying that, stories like representing, Asian cultures such as those, if anyone is saying those are all Avatar reduxes, they are wrong and stupid. Like the cinema where that's concerned actually has a pretty rich history. I mean, heck, we're all nerds. We all know what anime, where do I even start with all of the genres we've done over here in the States? Heck, we have martial arts genres. We have, romantic comedy genres starting now. Or South Korea. Actually, I had to take a class on this one. South Korea has a surprisingly rich history of cinema, and most all of them, I mean, all the good ones are like nothing you've ever seen. So if you have a chance, you should check those out. But yeah, Raya the Last Dragon. I don't want to
I would recommend it, but it's like.
Well, I mean, I don't want to take points off for just familiarity, but I mean, it really hits you in the face at the beginning. I mean, I mean, at first it's like, okay, I feel like you took the template and just put different narration in, but as it starts to make its like as it lays out its world building, it makes its intents and purposes clear. I mean, you do get your own world and just this honestly just really good action adventure movie. This just very well done, fun, likable action adventure movie with characters to match.
Definitely. Yeah,
ooh, that sounds great.
Yeah, it sounds.
Yeah, the one. Yeah.
That too.
Yeah, Luca was the one I was looking forward to for a while, but it never got released to theater, so I still haven't seen it.
Sure.
And I don't really want to get Disney Plus.
I mean, Disney Plus. Well, you will have seen. I mean, Disney Plus will be the streaming service you've seen the highest percentage of movies on before you start. But I mean, it's also like, I think it's also the best one at keeping up with like recent stuff you wanted to see and such as that. So,
Yeah, it's mostly more about the principle. Like, I really don't want to give Disney like streaming services money right now. The thing, because like if there's one thing I'd see from Disney streaming service besides probably Mandalorian, it'd probably be the Owl House, keeping up with that live. But I'll just have to catch up that later through other means.
I'll have to wait until like I'm in a better financial standing for Disney Plus, but I'm still on the fence about that, because it just, I understand Disney getting in on the streaming thing, but it just drives me kind of nuts that, like, darn it, I gotta wait till streaming. Another streaming thing, darn it. I guess you have paying a monthly subscription, but that seems to be the way it is these days.
Yeah. Okay, so what else? The Oscar-nominated movie about the quiz show scandals of the 50s, which are kind of considered a major turning point in America losing its innocence. Just the notion that, quiz shows that are supposed to be about, a competition of who is the smartest of these people who are still allowed to get famous just because they're smart, that they would straight up lie to us and rig it so that we're just watching people who are fun to watch. Like, Oscar-nominated movie, pretty thematically rich. I mean, a lot of interesting characters that come out of it, although one of the key points, the guy who originally blew the whistle on it, the contestant who they, shoved to the top and then kind of abruptly abandoned, screwed over, he is, well, okay, one, if you didn't, like, this was made in the 90s, if you didn't know he was Jewish before you saw this, you will afterwards. It's kind of cringy that way, but, yeah. Also, you see the footage of the guy who's, like, a nerd. There's a reason he wasn't fun to watch, but he's pretty sedate. And then you see the movie version of him who's, quipping and, sneering and, moving his mouth at 100 miles an hour everywhere. I'm like, okay, there is no way in hell that those two are the same person. Like, you did not care about who that guy actually was when you made this. It has a lot to say about class conflict, which was maybe some of what it's going for, but I'll consider the portrayal of him a pretty round failure. Otherwise, we saw the first What If, Peggy Carter got the super serum soldier and became, well, they call her Captain Carter, but she's in a Captain England costume, Captain Britain instead of Captain America, but I mean,
that was interesting. I really liked that.
Yeah, like, I mean, what they do with her character and Steve Rogers, for that matter, is great. They're very aware that this is a remix of a story you've already seen, so they, don't bother to, weave her character into any of the same things happening, like why Steve, was so attached to his shield, they just kind of drop the shield on her, and and the new directions they go in. Oh, well, if she was, the super soldier, it would play out like this instead. So many of the like this instead, you're sitting there like, why?
Because Marvel.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like, okay, in this one, the Red Skull is not trying to fly the Tesseract over to the U.S. to whatever his plan was again. He's trying to use it to unleash Cthulhu right there.
Are you serious, Cthulhu?
Yeah, Sunday's Calimari is coming to get you.
Yeah, so...
I told him to cook it. Well done.
Yeah, well, they didn't though.
But yeah, stuff like that, or like, they throw an Iron Man before Iron Man into this story as well. Again, it's like, why?
Well,
you did not really.
Makes sense.
Well, I mean, it like narratively to give certain characters roles, it makes sense. How it happens, like what led it there. It's like the Emoji Movie is a cartoon. You review it for what it is.
It doesn't have to be like timely correct, or else like there would be a lot of that stuff that we would have a problem with.
I have no idea what you just said, let alone what your argument is.
I'm just saying.
But anyway, and I did watch an episode of the new Mighty Ducks TV show as well.
Oh no, you did.
Yeah.
I did not know that existed.
It does. The remix of the Mighty Ducks, which I hate to say it, but I might actually agree with the reviews that it's the best thing the Mighty Ducks franchise ever did. Like, okay, picture this as the premise. The Mighty Ducks film series, it's the bygone era that technically weren't even good movies when they came out, but the bygone era of, like, standing well and firm for that whole, sports should be fun, that, place more emphasis on the team camaraderie and the enjoyment of your youth and of sports than of winning the game, right?
Whatever you say.
Well, I mean, yeah, they give that speech a lot. The whole, be good people, play for fun, don't be the bad guys in black who are obsessed with only using the best players and winning. Anyway, now in the future, while the Ducks, they won while practicing that philosophy in the movie. So now the Ducks are the team in black, except for the actually being in black that only takes the best players and cuts all the kids who just want to play and have fun and are run by some snivelly BSer who, if you, can't make his team, he tells you don't ever bother to play the sport, and if you're suddenly good at it, tries to recruit you and says, no, I challenged you, and you rose to that challenge. And meanwhile, Emilio Estevez, Gordon Bombay, his career prospects have pretty much burned through, dried up, left him as just the owner of a who cares hockey rink, and had him revert to his original personality, and even with a new team of, kids who got rejected who just want to play the game for fun and stuff, it still is not so easy to get him to come around. Like, he gives bad advice now as often as he gives good advice. It is not easy to pull his old, his special stuff back out of him anymore, and what? Oh, and the bad guys from the first movie, the Hawks, now they're the team everybody abandoned and laughs at because their once proud history, they're not good anymore. It's just stuff like that that's piling on the punches at how we're totally all, no, you should totally be obsessed with winning because that is going to get your 12-year-old a scholarship or something. That is how you prepare them for the future. Now as the guy on the Ducks who was the cake eater who was forced to come to their team but then actually liked it, as he puts it, wow, the Ducks are a bunch of cake eaters now.
Cake eaters? Okay, what does that mean? It's been a long time since
in real life.
Well, I happen to have grown up in a cake eater town because, after the city school I was going to at age 7, after, somebody dragged me by my collar and threw me through a door, as in an adult supervisor. Parents got me the hell out of there as fast as they could. We moved to a Cake Eater Township, which is, we are a school that it's a truth by repetition that we are all smart here because we are rich, or at least that is why you would move here, assuming the other reason being if you were thrown through a set of doors by an adult superintendent because sick of dealing with kids. But that aside, a team or a school that is good here. We do not get into fights on the playground, or else that you get dragged to the principal's office and told they are getting sick of this from you, or we do not, well, if I'm being honest, have that much diversity, although, basically, cake eater school. Lots of money and lots of thinking that it makes you better, although, mine was a self-conscious cake eater township that was trying to be very, very inclusive and anti-stereotype, and unlike the other cake eater township that we're rivals with that has a reputation for pretty much just embracing it.
That's true.
Cake Eater Township. That is the first
we eat cake here. Let them eat cake.
That's the first time I've ever heard of that term used like that. Like, when I was thinking cake eater, I kept thinking fat. I kept thinking like
That's
America.
They actually, I found it weird because actually, where my county, there's actually there's like the Camo County like school district, then there's like 2 other school districts. One is called Highland Heights. Let me see.
Oh yeah.
And like no, everyone like always called them cake eaters because it's essentially the rich side of it. It's like where all the doctors and dentists and all those live. So they sort of have the better equipment and like higher price area. So like we always been like since my parents called them cake eaters, and I was like, oh, someone else have actually used that term.
My gosh, that's the first time I swear that is the first time I've heard of it. Like when I think cake eater, I think of like an old 80s movie insult of like, I think of a bully insulting insulting
Out of an Adam Sandler movie, yeah.
Hey, cake eater.
The fat guy, what a cake eater.
Yeah.
That was also if you've also seen the movie Clueless, if you also seen the movie Clueless, there was not the exact word, but it was kind of like used as I have no idea if it was a slur or whatever, but it was used for another word for gay. So I have no idea if that in the movie was intended to be a slur or not. But
I remember the speech about how your boy, whoever it was, is a something Oscar Wilde reading.
That's it, yeah. The first words I was not like saying he's a cake boy. I'm like, and the first time I heard it, I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, what are you talking about? And then finally comes out.
Yeah, I don't know if they said cake eater, but yeah, actually the people from Clueless, the whole rich phone buying, fashion obsessive, yeah, those would be stereotypical cake eaters.
Okay, I would have never thought of that. I would have never ever thought of that. I always thought that term was made up just for the movie, but just for a movie. But I was thinking like, well, I still think that now, like, it's not gay to eat cake. It's not rich to eat cake. It's not rich to eat cake. Anybody can eat cake.
Really?
But what have you been up to, Jen?
Well, me here, I've just been on the animation front. On the animation front, I've actually been like going through and like watching old He-Man cartoons.
Yes.
Oh my God, the old actual 80s He-Man stuff, and getting like reacquainted with the series. Like I'm coming back to my 4-year-old self that would actually watch He-Man and She-Ra and such. So I've been getting reacquainted with the old He-Man stuff. And on the video game front, I've been slowly pedaling away at Twilight Princess, Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. I am just starting my first temple, and my boyfriend was like asleep next to me because, well, he gets bored when I play I am a boring gamer. Whatever. But unless I am going crazy because there's a certain stage or a boss that I can't get past, and the rage consumes me.
Oh, like the digging stages.
Oh my God, we are not talking about that. The digging stage of Okami can't just. Okay. Okay, we've let that go. We have let that go, and I have not destroyed the cartridge. I swear, the minute I got rid, but it's great comedy. It's great comedy, though. That's for sure. It's great comedy. I'll tell you. Me in gamer rage is quite funny. I think one of these days I plan to make a silly comic out of it. Like, I'll have one panel of like me being like, I am totally mature. I don't get that things get to me. And the next panel, just a profanity laden rant.
Boy,
Pretty much.
Me with my darn old laptop.
Mm-hmm.
I can never get to cooperate.
As soon you're going to get any.
But yeah, just started still pedaling along through Twilight Princess, and then I had a thought while I was playing, and I was thinking, wait a minute, because actually the Forest Temple, I just started with the Forest Temple, and that for once the game guide was actually not really helping me that much because of the mobile, the way it looked in the mobile setting was really stupid because the picture would overlap into the text, and I couldn't read some of it, so I've had to guess. So I've actually had to guess. on the stages,
Yeah,
but
that's
eventually
not
I found
good.
myself on the right path.
Oh.
I just did my first mini boss on there, and then I had a thought when I stopped it, and then I had a thought that made me make my boyfriend wake up, and I was like, wait a minute, what? Do you remember the water Do you remember the water temple in Ocarina of Time? What's this game's equivalent to that? And then all of a sudden I was like freaking out. I made a comment to him. I was like, I remember watching my sister play that game. The frustration from that stage was contagious. I mean, she was playing while I was reading the guide to her, trying to guide her. So both of us were like just getting so frustrated at that stage.
Wow.
Something like, what is this? What's this game's equivalent to that? Am I gonna have PTSD after this?
Maybe a little.
I hope not.
It's like me and the Lion King.
Oh my
Don't
goodness.
get me started.
The SNES version? Which version?
For the Sega Genesis.
Oh. Now that is a tour down Amnesia Lane. Oh boy, that reminded me of the Sega Dreamcast. Jeez, what a great system, but gone too soon. But hey, we got at least Soul Calibur. If something good came out of it, it was Soul Calibur.
Mm-hmm.
I
like to be Nightmare. Yeah, I don't know Soul Calibur.
There's some, I have no, actually, there was no character that I bonded with in Soul Calibur. I mean, Chun-Li is forever my girl in Street Fighter, that's for sure. And also, I have such fun, and Blanca is a close second. I have so much fun being cheap with him.
Yeah.
All you do is do that roar move that he does, and then just shock everybody. Like, this is
It's like you being Raiden in Mortal Kombat and knowing the cheat code for shocking electricity.
I've never, in all the years I've played Mortal Kombat, I was never able to trigger a fatality. Never.
Oh, that's too bad. We gotta try that at one point.
I had fun being cheap with Raphael in Soul Calibur, but the problem is you don't get to be cheap in the exact same ways as across the different generations. You have to actually learn how to play him, so heck with that noise.
Actually, it's been fun. It's more fun to be cheap with Street Fighter characters, but like I said, I haven't really bonded too much with Soul Calibur characters. Although I will say, I think Ivy has the coolest weapon out of everyone on there on Soul Calibur.
Oh, the whip sword.
Yeah, I thought that was.
That's in Raya the Last Dragon too, actually.
Nice. I thought the whip sword was awesome. I actually had so much fun, but if there is a character that is fun to be cheap with, I think Voldo. I think Voldo maybe was. Yeah, I think Voldo was fun to be cheap with. I had some fun with Voldo and Maxi. Voldo and Maxi are fun to be cheap with.
Yeah.
Anybody ever see the death battle with Ivy in it?
The death battle with Ivy? With death battle?
Yeah, they put up against whoever it is that does the tiger dash, and whoever's finishing move is just flashing whoever she's against. Literally splitting open her shirt and making the guys drop dead, and if she happens to be up against a female opponent, making them automatically forfeit out of jealousy.
This sounds like a harem anime waiting to happen.
Yeah. This is fighting game. It might, as fun as fighting games are, it might be fair to say that they took the cleavage thing a tad too far. All they needed is a giant line drawn around the bosom. It's right there. That's what you should be looking at.
To that point, you gotta look at the camera and be like, really? This is getting old. You need some new material.
Yeah. Death battle, though, the kind of amusing moment where that character tries to use the finishing move on Ivy, but I don't know who, who gets to say their career includes figuring this out, but they determine that Ivy's oversized cleavage is even bigger, so Ivy does the same thing back and wins.
It's too easy. It's way too convenient. It's way too easy. It's way too overdone. We need some fresh material.
Boy.
But other than that,
I don't know. People already consider like the Samuses and the Laura Crofts of the world hotter than that. Like, I don't know. I'll just make good characters. But moving on.
Yeah, but let's see, other than that, anything else on there? Oh yeah, I said in the previews, I've watched my 8th playthrough of Persona 5. What is it? That game is stealing my heart, literally, and I'm not even playing it.
No.
But I can't, I don't know, I finally get, get on the Persona train, but yeah. Even though I don't have a system for it, but I've been watching so many playthroughs and it's been so, the story has just been so interesting.
Fun.
The story's been so interesting and real fun. So other than that, that's about, movie-wise, recently I watched a movie called Gunpowder Milkshake.
Oh, we're thinking about watching that.
Watch it. I cannot recommend it anymore. Watch it. Watch it.
I mean, I heard it's an all-style, no substance movie, but yeah, what kind of, like, hyper-violent and pretty imagery or surreal or what?
Hyper-violent, pretty imagery. Hyper-violent, feminine, empowering, pretty imagery.
Okay.
But not like Sucker Punch.
Okay.
Thankfully not like Sucker Punch. Talk about all beauty
like
and
Sucker Punch.
Huh?
I like Sucker Punch. I think it's okay.
Visual-wise, it's nice, and I absolutely love the fact that one of the songs in the soundtrack was actually a song I listened to in the 90s. But I kudos to that, and I love the action. The visuals are beautiful. It's just like none of it makes sense. I mean, I can watch. The problem is I don't understand. I'm trying to figure out, like, come on, I can watch Footy Cootie and have like the time of my life and not care if it makes sense. But yeah, with Sucker Punch, the funny thing is Sucker Punch is like, it's like the foundation is there, but I'm like, I can't get into it. I'm like, what's wrong with me? I mean, it's got the visuals, it's got the things, it's got like the insane fun. Oh wait a minute, I just figured it out why I can't get into it. There's no comedy, but a story like Sucker Punch. It's not supposed to have comedy in it, but not hate.
You're just like Gunpowder Milkshake, Schumer bitter.
Right.
A lot of people couldn't get into Sucker Punch, to be fair.
I like the humor. The humor is definitely there in Gunpowder Milkshake. There's also the humor is there. There's plenty of the action there, and it's humor without it being slapstick. You see,
Okay.
It's humor without being slapstick, and and I love it how there's like, I love the color, the film style of it. How there's I don't know, there's like it's very bright and very colorful, and it's juxtaposed against like darkness and everything. Love the character setup. The action is fantastic. The action is just so much fun. And how fun is it? I watched it with my 73-year-old mom, and there's this one big old action scene, and we're both cheering. Remember, this is my 73-year-old awesome mom and myself. We're watching this, and we're cheering at the hyper-violence.
Mm-hmm.
That is how much fun it is. And then I read an article about it that hopefully, cross your fingers, that this movie will get a couple of sequels. And I am chomping at the bit for that. I absolutely adored it, and I cannot wait. If there's any more to the series, I am for it. I have not been this excited for a continuation of a series since Deadpool.
Oh, nice.
You're here.
Oh yeah. And
We gotta add that to the list, I guess.
yes,
Gator
I cannot recommend it enough. If I cannot recommend it enough, watch it. And I'm going to give you a little tidbit. Look at the colors of 3 of the quote librarians in the scenes. Tell me what is it? Tell me what does it make you think of? Pay close attention. Actually, you know what? Okay, I'll give you another hint. Pay close attention to what the librarians are wearing. There's a and then comb through your knowledge of Disney.
Boy, well,
Like bad guys?
we'll have to see it before
Yeah.
we figure that out.
Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah, watch it. It is so much fun.
Huh. We will.
Sweet. Boy,
That's about it.
movies I know like that. Attack the Block has a lot of humor, hyper-violent action, and just fun. Well, we can compare some other time.
I guess one last thing is I'm now kind of getting curious about actually seeing the movie The Suicide Squad.
Oh, yeah, the new one.
Just
I do.
just to
we
sort
wanna
of
watch
skip
that.
ahead. Just to sort of skip ahead to my thoughts, like, yeah, I've seen that movie in theaters.
Mhm.
It's really good.
Oh,
I don't know if I'd recommend it to Day, because you don't like violence in movies, do you, Day?
Well, like, have you seen the new Mortal Kombat?
Yes.
Okay, let's say, like, that's my limit of violence.
It's so bad.
I don't think the Suicide Squad is a movie for you. It's
Okay.
it's hard R, and that's completely because of the violence.
Well,
there's
like,
literally,
it depends. It depends if there's a specific thing in it that I'm talk with second about. And then it also depends on how much it focuses on it. Like, if I can see guts and stuff like that, like it was in Mortal Kombat too.
Yes,
It's just
there
like,
are-
how long time is it really necessary to focus like 10 minutes on, somebody that's screaming in pain, agony because they're tortured and their guts is spilling out? There's my limit.
There's two things that sort of that's yes and a no.
Or
On the one
brain
hand, yes,
matter.
there are guts. There are, like, this is
Well,
basically
that's fine, just as long as it's not like focused on for
that's
long
the second
time
point I was trying to
periods.
get to, is that yes, there are guts, but everything in this movie is played pretty much for laughs, so it's not like it's very not
Okay.
serious.
That might help me, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. Then second, Day has not seen Invincible, has she?
No.
Never mind.
But has any of you guys seen Dexter?
I've seen bits
I'm
and pieces.
aware of it.
I
I've
have
seen
seen
So-
bits
some episodes.
of Dexter.
So that season 4, the last episode, that's my limit cap. I had to turn that off and go in another room and cry.
Oh my gosh.
That's how bad that was.
Wow.
So that's my limit.
So
So
much
it's
of it
more
is
about-
like how they play
so
these things tonally.
All right, so it's more about like the torture than the violence itself for you. It's
Oh, well, okay. Well, that's...
Yeah.
I-
Well, it's like, focusing on red explosions versus focusing on pain.
Yeah,
You could
like
take
the
the former much
explosions
more,
I
right?
would rather have. It's like the one with the golden eye, or what it is, this 007, where it starts out with him being tortured. It's also like, no, I cannot. I am not watching this. I'm going in another room, and then you can watch the 30 minutes of this man getting whatever.
Right.
You know.
Pretty much it's something that could be like Saw, like something similar
Well,
to
like, the thing with that is that it doesn't focus too long on the explicit things, if you get what I'm saying.
The actual pain.
Have you ever seen Hostel?
Heard of it, but haven't watched.
I've seen enough of Hostel.
Again, that's my limit. It comes to a point where it's like, okay, now it's too much. You know, if it's just like a minute, maybe 5 minutes, it's all well and good. It's flashing or it's something quick that we see, right? Like in the new Mortal Kombat, like they show blood and gore and all of that good stuff. But yeah, I cannot take a specific thing that I talked with Second about, but I'll write that later on when nobody listens. Onward.
Yeah.
I cannot say.
Sexual violence is.
Yes, that's no. It doesn't matter how long for. That's my limit cap. I'm not watching that. Out with that. Away with that.
Off with its head.
Yes. In more
Well,
than
actually, that's rather
way.
fitting with the Suicide Squad.
It's what?
I said that's actually a rather fitting thing with the Suicide Squad.
Okay.
Off with its head.
Yeah, because like that's the thing is like they plant like the whole thing is like they have a bomb in their neck.
Oh,
So
yeah,
if they
that's right.
disobey orders,
Yeah, that's
it is
right.
off with their heads.
Yeah, it's like I'm thinking about the Red Queen from Alice. Off with their heads.
Oh, I know that's the direct reference, but I was saying that's actually ironically fitting to Suicide Squad too.
Yeah, or the Red Queen from what is that? Resident Evil. Yeah.
Alice in Wonderland. Oh yeah.
But
I've heard
they're good.
heard a lot of people say that it's actually surprisingly good, and I'm like, really?
Yeah.
What is?
The Suicide Squad.
Oh, the first.
Here's my pitch of the Suicide Squad, which I've said before. I might have actually seen my thing I'm posting on Facebook. The Suicide Squad is essentially like a James Gunn making an 80s action movie set like in South America. But with two things. One, a lot more comedic violence, as in like it's a hard R for violence, and two, it's also like brings in superheroes / super villains with it. So it's like adding that to like a classic like interpretation like the 80s action movies. And that's sort of what the Suicide Squad is.
No. Okay.
Oh wow!
Cute.
I guess that tears it. Yes, I'm
That sounds like actually something I would watch, even that there is violence in it.
It even has Sylvester Stallone, so I guess it is an 80s action movie.
Yeah. No, I have to watch it.
Oh, my
Maybe this Sunday.
He's the shark character, right?
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone is the smart character.
No, shark.
No.
Shark.
Oh, it's a different King Shark. It's not Harley Quinn style King Shark.
Oh,
It's not
Sylvester
based. It's
Stallone
not
is
one
the
that's
shark.
based off. It's not, from what I've seen. Thankfully, it is not one based off of just Harley Quinn.
No.
Yeah, it's sort of funny. Like, there's been so many recent interpretations of King Shark, but like most of them are some ways still make him endearing, just in different ways.
Oh, God. Like, I remember what the first one. I mean, I actually enjoyed. I remember seeing the first Suicide Squad in theaters, and honestly, like I was on board. I'm like, okay, this is good. I'm having fun here. That theater. I found out later that one of the heroes, anti-heroes, had apparently had I don't remember which one had like a real following or whatever, but he was the first one that got off with the head. I can't remember what that one was, but
I think it was
the
Slipknot.
jumpy, climby one.
yeah, what was it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
one
first
with
Yeah,
ropes.
Slipknot.
Yeah, Slipknot one.
Yeah, and I only remember his name because everyone was like, he's obviously going to be the first one to go. Like, that's how I remember his name. It's like everyone's like, well,
It's
he's
like
the one
it's
that's
like Ned Stark. You just know he's going to die.
or it's Sean Bean. You know he's gonna
Yeah.
die.
Yeah.
I ever wondered if that gentleman has a death reel for when his audition's like, okay, here's how I die in every thing.
Yeah. We
It's
need a
always
character
very
to die.
tragic and very
I volunteer.
epic. Yeah.
Exactly. But I saw the first Suicide Squad in theaters, and honestly, I was actually having fun with. I was actually having fun with it. Like, oh,
too.
this was a good
Me
kind
too.
of horror movie.
Like I don't know what's like people are so upset about. I actually really liked it.
Well, I know,
I think-
but I mean,
yeah.
it's like one of those ones where I'm like, okay, I can turn whatever irritation that brings off enough so that, like, you know, there's stuff to enjoy. There's
Yes.
Yeah.
Harley
Yeah,
Quinn, Flame Dude.
Yeah, it was actually it was enjoyable to me. I actually did not mind it. It was a good, popcorn movie. I'm like, oh, this is good. This is fun. There was only one point. I was up to it till a point. The point where Harley Quinn was like talking to Enchantress and like, and it seems like she'll give into Enchantress's demands and everything. But then she says, "You mess with my friends," and then afterwards I was like, "You just My Little Pony friendship is magic. This movie."
Yeah, like that.
This movie, man.
Oh, there are a few lines like that are trying to be like, yeah, dun dun dun, and like it's not as clever as it thinks it is, or
it would have worked better if she would have been like, I know you are not, using my real pudding or something in those lines, and just kicked her.
Yeah, or like, I mean, heck, that part at the beginning where she's like,
Or I'm a psychiatrist. I know that you're lying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that part at the beginning where she's like, what? I should kill everyone and escape? Oh, sorry, the voices. No, I'm kidding. That's not what they really said. I'm like, that is so try-hard, edgelord. Like, that's not what they really said. I'm like,
worked too, actually, to getting her out of that situation, being like, I already hear voices enough in my head, so
They were trying too hard to be like, look at me, I'm crazy, I'm cute, but I'm crazy. Oh boy. I'm like, no. But at first I had like objections about the way Harley kind of looked, because I'm used to the red and black Harley. Okay, I'm used to the red and black actual Harley Quinn. And here she was blue and red. I'm like, what is this crap? So
why are these movies so afraid of that?
So many versions of Harley.
Then I got used to it, and then actually, this was the one thing that kind of made me cringe about Suicide Squad. And then when Harley was like, "You mess with my friends," I'm like, "You just Twilight sparkled this movie, dag nabbit." So, and then another thing that kind of,
which is ironic because Tara Strong has voiced Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I was like, you just, wow. And after that, I was like, what? And then I started questioning everything. Another one that kind of made me was curious about it was, okay, Jared Leto as the Joker.
Yeah.
I'm still on the fence of his. I still don't know what to make of it. I mean,
I'm still like, what? I guess you need to warm up to it. With me, I was like,
he's in the movie for 10 minutes. I mean, I love Jared Leto in Dallas Buyers Club. I thought he deserved awards and stuff. But I mean, like, apparently they just they cut most of his performance out of the movie. It's like, do we even have any business saying whether he's good or not? With like how he wound up, and like, and as is, I mean, like the stuff with the kissing the ring, I can tell you meant that. Like, he had some like fun troll Joker moments, but I mean, it's like he does not leave an impact as is. He just doesn't.
Yeah.
How could he? Well,
I mean, his is definitely a standalone performance. For one thing, I think the look of Joker throws everybody off. I think the look of it completely
for me, it wasn't a surprise. I was thinking about like Golden Age.
I mean, all the grill. It's the grills and the tattoos. That's like almost self-consciously stylistic.
Like Joker was a punk rocker. This was in a rap rock band. That is what he would look like. That is exactly what it would look like. He'd be in a punk rap rock band. That's exactly what he would look like. It's the whole look was off. The one thing that I was kind of, I could be like, okay, I could get behind this, was when he was like, when he did that laugh. I'm like, okay, sounds insane.
There.
That sounds insane. Oh, okay. All right, I'm still not sure I can get behind this though. But also with the first Suicide Squad, I was more I was more fascinated with Katana than Harley. Everybody gaga over Harley, and I'll never forget that Halloween. Everybody and their grandmother was dressing up as Harley and Joker for Halloween. I could not go two steps in the street without seeing a Harley, without seeing a Joker. I mean, there were little kids dressing up like Harley and Joker. Like, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really?
Are we going to be Katana next year or this year?
I wanted to come in there, but I was thinking to myself, sheesh, in a sea of Harleys, in a sea full, someone made a really cool art piece of it where, okay, there's a bunch of Harley Quinn cosplayers, and there's a girl walking up in a witch outfit, in just all black with a witch hat.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, yes. And I was like, yes, that's perfect. But I thought to myself, okay, in a sea full of Harleys, be a Katana, because honestly, I wanted to know more about katanas than Harley. And matter of fact, I still lobby. I want a Katana movie.
Or a Batman or a Batgirl.
Nah.
Oh, we have Batman movies for.
We already got Batman movies. That's fine. I want a Katana movie. I want a standalone Katana movie. And I was kind of peeved that they didn't focus on her more, but it was all about. They seemed to make it all about Deadshot and Harley and that was it. That was the only kind of hindrance about it in my opinion. Yeah. Just the characterization of Harley, but nothing against Margot Robbie. I mean, she's a great actress and such, you know. Nothing against her. I mean, she's got to do what direction tells her to do, or, you know, what she takes from the character. It was just the cute, damaged doll character is just way overdone.
Probably. I felt like she really made it her own in Birds of Prey. Like, even the costume, I don't know why these movies are so afraid of the classic Harley Quinn costume, but like they like from the, okay, she's got pigtails and booty shorts mold, like they kind of took that to she dresses free-spiritedly colorful almost.
And I understand the symbolism, and I get it now. I understand a little bit of the symbolism as to why she's in more colors. It's the not just the it's what it is. It's the emancipation of Harley Quinn, because Harley is now slowly, because you have to remember in the beginning, Harley is not an original DC character. She wasn't in the Batman's gallery of characters since like the 20s and 30s. She was specifically made up for a one-time shot on the Batman animated series. But then once she was made, the public was all of a sudden like, you know, like, oh, who is it? Who is this character?
It just worked too well, yeah.
Right, and she got enough love so that now she is, now she is part of. She's made her mold into the DC universe. So, and now she's getting like the latest thing being done with Harley is now, we're seeing more of her separate from Joker. So this is kind of in a way a maturity thing of her, so that's why her colors are starting to change. I didn't understand it in the beginning when Suicide Squad came out, but then as I looked back at her history, and I'm like, okay, I get why. I get the out of the old and into the new, and dressing more with colors and everything. This is her emancipation from, I guess, this is her first of all, it's her realizing how toxic Joker is, and then moving on from that to do things her way. And actually, emancipation. I could say, with the emancipation of Harley Quinn, I could actually say I was completely with her on there. I was like right there. I was like, okay, I can root for Harley Quinn now. There you go.
So now that we've reviewed the Suicide Squad.
The first Suicide Squad.
Yeah, but like I said, like I highly recommend the second one.
Okay, that's
and actually, Day and second, do you have HBO Max?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, I would say at least try it. I don't know if they will like the violence and all that, but at the very least,
probably. I will tell you if it was too much.
That's
Or
the
Play
same.
as we
Like,
go, yeah.
yeah, I will
yeah,
play
like
as
with
like I
yeah.
just go over place if it becomes too much for me. I go over place.
Yeah, it's
That's what I was just
Yeah.
saying. Like with HBO Max, it's like, yeah, you can try it, see if you like that thing. If not, then you can always just like pause it and move on to something else.
oh yeah, definitely. But okay, that tears it. I'm gonna go see the next the Suicide Squad. I expect fun.
It's so like kind of just even talk. They literally just.
But I guess other things I'm up to is let me see. The Scene the Suicide Squad. I'm also
Really, it's gonna be like really awkward if I basically am trying to like do like this whole thing. Like if I try to do the plane.
Speaking of really awkward,
Somebody. Yes.
Yeah, I just meet him for family, Carlos Seven family stuff. But like I was saying on my end, yeah, I've been seen the Suicide Squad. I've also seen a certain show we're going to get to later. Then we also started on 300 Years. I've been killing slimes anime. I finally started that because the dub is finally pretty much over. And I'm watching through that, enjoying it so far. It's not a high anime, but it's a good anime, I would say. And then the other thing I've been starting to get addicted to is Hades on the final release for PlayStation. I'm playing it, and yeah, that is a very fun, addictive game.
That sounds. Now I'm thinking about Lucifer, but it's not the same thing.
It's not like a Dante's Inferno thing, is it?
Oh no, you're playing the son
that's
of.
amazing.
No, you're playing the son of Hades, trying to basically escape Hades.
Okay.
Oh,
it's like-
so like a Devil May Cry thing.
Huh?
Maybe.
Yeah, but it's very much based in Greece. It's like a roguelike, if you know the genre. So it's
Yeah.
like randomly generated levels and all that. But like the things that this does interesting is besides the style itself is good. It's that there's actually a story to it, and like you progress through the story, even though it's randomly generated. The actions you take will basically unlock character development and like dialogue back at your home base.
Yeah. Okay,
So
so
there is
definitely something that looks like Devil May Cry, just like newer, maybe
Oh, no,
more
it's like-
beautiful, make more sense thing.
It's from like a different like perspective. It's like top down, sort of like a isometric perspective, sort of like let's see. And
That
I know
sounds
you.
good.
Yeah, it's like hard to describe the style. Like you know from the old from the old PC RPGs or like from the top down perspective, like StarCraft.
Oh
sort of.
yeah, I do remember what you're talking about. And Devil May Cry actually had, like the first one had that too, where you could like get it from above and from the sides and stuff like that too. Been playing that game too much.
Yeah, I think if you like, yeah, it's a fun action game, so you might actually want to at least look into it. And now it's actually pretty much available everywhere because it used to be a PC and Switch exclusive, but just came to PlayStation and Xbox too. So
so bad still.
I would recommend if you can play on PC or like PlayStation or Xbox because it is the 60 FPS really would help with
just
this.
Like, we don't have that much, and I'm like, if I have to have one more console in my life, I think it's going to be a Switch. I had a PlayStation and stuff like that where I was living before, and we didn't use it very very often because I was using my PC. So. Yeah.
Actually, speaking of Switch, another thing I just got, which literally I just got in the mail, or this thing is like from one of my favorite Switch games. I got the soundtrack to Xenoblade Chronicles. It was a little, it was a little expensive, like pretty much almost the price of the game. But I was like, I just really do love that series that much. I sort of see why because it's a 5-disc set.
Oh my god.
Let me see it. See if I can share a photo. Let's see. Here it is. sharing the chat. So yeah, if you can see that's what the. It's a nice looking box.
Oh.
Oh, it looks like Witchblade too, a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, I really do love that series, and
Oh.
yeah, that's pretty much all but confirmed. But part 3 is in development, and probably will
Yeah.
have some reused characters. So yeah,
I
I'm
am
looking for that.
also a really big fan of Witchblade though.
Ah.
Only the comics though. I will not any games or movies.
Oh wait, I know that's what I've seen the anime. That's what I've seen a long time ago.
Yes.
Which I remember being like, it's very sexualized, but also a very serious story at the same time.
Hmm. Definitely,
It's
I
like-
could go for the anime when I'm done my Merlin series and I'm done whatever it was that you said that I had to watch. Then maybe, because I finally got through the thing Gator wanted me to watch before I came over here. Whew, man, that's long.
Which was it?
The what's that? The Yu-Gi-Oh! No, something with card games.
Fight
Bakugan.
Vanguard.
Yeah, Vanguard. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why I said Bakugan. Yeah, Vanguard, so I should have gone.
How was it?
It was interesting. It started out like really as I thought, like every Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, whatever, main protagonists saving the world and doing all of the good stuff, and then it changed, and then I was actually rooting for the bad guy for some time, and then it all went on to its head, and I was actually meant to root for him, so it was a little weird for me, I guess.
Interesting.
Kind of, sorta, because still the main protagonist is the one that automatically wins, but yeah, it's still like nice to see that there's like you get in doubt of, okay, now it's not like in Yugi where like Yugi is going to beat whatever comes in his way. There's actually like fights where we're not sure that this is going to go good this time.
It's often like excuse me. It's often like entertaining to see like, oh, how's he gonna get out of this one?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Oh, and I caught up on Beastars as well.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost Gator.
Yeah, Beastars, yeah. So now second is all up to snuff too with that.
Beastars. It's like Zootopia fanfiction meets proof that people still watch soap operas for a reason.
Yeah. With a little bit of violence and a little bit of sexual things. Everything works.
Oh, more than a little bit of both of those.
That's true.
But let me see.
Beautiful.
Hey, Carlos, you back?
Gator!
Come back.
Gator, come back!
Doesn't help the gate. My Gator doesn't.
I was wrong.
Should we just start on Centaurworld?
Yeah.
Well, I still have the news stories to go through first, which are going to be quick. But just want to sort of make sure his mic and all that set up because, yeah, I would like to get his thoughts on Centaurworld especially. But eventually, I guess, updates on what he's been up to this week. But in the meantime, I guess I might as well knock off the news stories.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. First one, which is actually...
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
I'm
All
sorry. I'm sorry. I was trying to speak, but I didn't realize it was off. All right.
Okay.
Oh, I actually muted you because the family was talking in the background. That's why I was muted for a while.
Oh.
You just had to unmute yourself. Yeah, I guess your turn. What have you been up to the last few weeks?
Okay. Basically, right now, we finally finished up reading like JoJolion. like that ended this week.
Ah,
Part 8 of JoJo's. And then it's kind of like, yeah, like, I mean, aside from like the news about part 6 being animated, part 8 finally being over and giving us like sort of like a nice like a twist ending like what part 5 and part 7 did. It's like, well, can definitely now say we definitely have a canon design for a certain character stand now. If they were humanoid. And it was pretty amazing. It was pretty amazing. Like, I'm not gonna spoil it right now, but you know the character I'm talking about. But I guess aside from that, I've been like basically been like watching like the updates for like that time I got reincarnated as a slime season 2 part 2, in which they updated the opening in the
oh,
middle of the season with
nice.
actual different animation, making us realize we've all been hyped up over still frames this entire time, and the animation studio was literally not even finished with the opening at that point.
Oh,
It's just like something
Curse
that
you,
flew
COVID!
over. Yeah, but like for like the
Americans!
but for like the slime isekai, it's literally just all right. I'm digging all the animation. And I was the one who noticed like during like the first version of the opening that they were just reusing stuff for like the for the margins for like screenshots from the very first opening. I was like, oh, they're not reusing them anymore. Oh, it's actually different back. Okay, this is completely different. This is great. And I think one of the last important things I really have to update on, aside from JoJo Part 8 ending, is me getting caught up with the IDW Sonic series.
Ah.
And boy, oh boy, could I just say one thing? IDW Sonic was just like, we predicted this stuff a year ago before COVID hit, and it still hurts even after reading it about the hopelessness and despair it brings.
Oh dear.
Like, oh my god. When we talk about IDW Sonic with the Metal Virus Saga, it's just like, Eggman, you evil genius and also evil person. You made a virus without a cure and just was not willing to do it. Oh, God. It's, it's like one of those stories that's just like, the more you read, it's just like, wow, wow, some of these people have to do hard choices right now. Like, I know, I'm sorry you're infected, sweetie, but we're gonna have to lock you down, like keep you separated right now. It's just, and it's like, what the heck? You're showing this like with a serious scene with Vector the crocodile right now, like, and then like the new characters they introduced for the IDW Sonic comic, being Tangled and Whisper. Oh my God, we're talking about emotions that are ranging on like this is a kid's book, but yet the emotions feel so visceral that it's just gonna be like, oh God, tears.
What he feels.
The feels indeed like even Sonic himself, it's like this is like the first time he's ever came up with the problem of like how long can you run consistently because you're the first one infected and you better run. Better run as fast as you can before the virus eats up your metabolism and just takes you over, because that's what it does.
It's not like a flesh eating thing, is it?
No, it's not flesh eating. No, it just coats the biomass with it, like until it becomes like a zombified robot version of themselves, and it even includes plants and such.
It's basically a zombie apocalypse in Sonic, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And it actually feels like it would be something feasible enough for them to even put it as a game for Sega. Like God,
Ooh,
trying
that
to out.
something.
Mm-hmm.
That would be something, definitely.
Oh God. And it even continues on like up to like the most recent books involving around like a plot line about like because like the IDW Sonic comics takes place after the canon that is Sonic Forces, one of the worst received games in the series.
Oh wow.
Like it starts out with like Sonic just trying to like find Eggman while like trying to deal with like random badniks, and then coming across Eggman with amnesia.
What?
Yeah, in which he calls himself Mr. Tinker, and everyone knows that it's Eggman, but they just like treating him as a nice guy once they realize that he's actually being like a nice guy and making inventions to like help people out instead of trying to take over things, which gives Sonic like a moral dilemma of do I imprison Mr. Tinker for the crimes Eggman commit, or do I let him be under a vigilant eye?
Well, if he's not the same person, yeah, I would say number 2.
But everyone was just like, we gotta take him out. Like he's literally right there. We can literally imprison him and everything. But in the end, Sonic decided to let him go. And he even let go Metal Sonic after he disarmed him of all of his machines, after like all of his weapons, after like basically the first comic arc, which was involving around Metal Sonic being sort of like a shadow leader for the Eggman Empire now that Eggman was disappeared and such, and brought back the Sonic Heroes Metal Madness form with Neo Metal Sonic as well.
Right.
Yeah, but then as soon as like Metal Sonic came back to like Eggman, and then a new character comes in who is an animal who is a major Eggman fanboy, restoring back Eggman's memories. That's when the Metal Virus arc starts. And let me tell you, in the book, everyone rails on Sonic for the mistake he has made.
Oh, true.
Everyone rails on him, being like, Cream lost loved ones. Cream lost her mother.
Wow.
Yeah, and even her chows as well.
Wow, there's some like real consequences here.
Oh yeah, and then it even comes up to the point of well, one of the only bad parts of the comic is just like the current writings of Shadow the Hedgehog, because they have him written as like a poor man's Vegeta, in which like he disregards Sonic's advice about like if you get trapped or anything, run away, and he just takes that as like, oh, I don't play the fight, I play the win.
Ooh.
And was foolish enough to let himself be zombified.
Wow.
And then it just gets worse and worse, seeing like the world just getting coated, even the plants and even like the little birdies from like the original Sonic game getting infected, just being like symptoms that easily could spread to like bigger cities out there in the Sonic world there. It's like, oh God, this is just COVID. Why do you have to go hard on it? I know you came out 2019, but it still hurts. Still hurts how real it is.
Understandable.
Yeah, and even then, like in the end, like basically like after like Eggman gets screwed over by like his fanboy, who's like naive enough to be like, even though you don't have a cure for it, I know a way to like possibly be able to control the Zombots since they're not even directly under your control. I should bring in like the Vile Six onto command because they have abilities of controlling technology. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
What could possibly go wrong?
And then they easily took over the operation as soon as they get warped in.
Oh wow.
And start controlling the Zombots and leading like their own tyrannies. God dang it. And here's the thing, like Sonic and Lost World was one of the poorer received ones because it tries to be a poor man's Super Mario Galaxy. Zavik and the Deadly Six are given more character here than their own game.
Wow.
Yeah. And you want to know what's even better?
What that?
Silver the Hedgehog actually gets better characterization than Shadow, because while Shadow's being written as a poor man's Vegeta, Silver is shown as a hopeless optimist, despite the fact he comes from a doomed future. To differentiate himself from like the future Trunks wannabe that he was back in 06.
Wow.
Trunks.
And the
And the fact that, like, in the end of the Metal Virus Saga, it's Sonic and Silver and Metal Sonic getting the powers of the Chaos Emeralds at the end.
Ooh.
God dang. It's just like an alternative end. It's like, screw what happened in 06. Then Shadow's like not willing to listen. This time it's Metal Sonic willing to work together after what happened with Eggman's plans got screwed over, and he has to work with Sonic in order to be able to stop the Metal Virus stuff.
Mm.
And in the end of the story, Eggman and Sonic have this moment that just goes, well, I know that you guys will be able to do it. I know how tenacious you guys can be, but at least I succeeded in one thing. I infected you with a piece of doubt on your mind for all the actions you've done to lead us to this point. And that course will spread and will slow down your reason and your judgment, even if you get cured of the metal virus. And I'm just like, okay, this is really good, hero and villain monologuing to each other right now. It's just, even when the games are bad, you gotta appreciate Eggman when he's written so good, you know?
Yeah.
And the new characters that they made for the story for IDW, they fit at home with the Sonic canon. So if you want to check out the comic, check it out. It's so good.
Okay.
All right.
It's so good,
Yeah,
and also
that's-
we also have an actual good wolf character now in Sonic.
But that reminded me I need to get caught up again with the MLP side of IDW, which is apparently also still going on pretty good. And also I can't remember if the season 9
Season
or
10.
whatever.
It was
Yeah,
season 10. It was called the unofficial season 10.
All right. Has that started yet or not? Because I know it got delayed.
It's
and
already
blah,
started.
blah.
It's already started. It's already
All right.
started. Don't worry.
All right. But I guess with that said, let's move in quickly through the news stories to get to the main subject. First news story basically came. I was looking at my news feeds over here, which sort of more media related, but I still think is good for a laugh. As another media company basically destroys itself. I just learned that apparently OnlyFans is banning adult content.
Yep.
And I'm just like, well, there goes your memeability, OnlyFans. Now, hopefully, you guys will be a low-key good operation now.
Literally just got that on Reddit this morning. I literally just got a ping about that this morning, and I was like, what? And I shared it with my friends here. And there's just there's this running joke about, I bet somebody's made this joke. I'm like, well, I'm so broke, I'm going to go do an OnlyFans, or if I can't pay rent this week, I'll do an OnlyFans or something. There's, and it's like, it seems like kind of shooting themselves in the foot,
Most definitely.
Yeah,
Not just
I've said described to some people, it's like, yeah, this is even stupider than Tumblr's decision to ban adult content, because Tumblr we joke about, I think it was joked about being mostly porn at the time it was all that happened, but it really wasn't that bad. OnlyFans is really only known for that. That's So I think this is probably worse.
There were actually people who actually could have may have made livings or side or decent side income with this OnlyFans. But yeah, I agree with you. See, it makes just about as much sense as when Tumblr did it.
Yeah.
Yep, because Tumblr did it because they were trying to desperately scrape out some more ad money, and they just killed everything about the service. And here apparently it was about investor money, and you should have just tried to get different investors instead of trying to grow, because you're making $1 billion a year. Just be happy with that.
Right, and they were, and I got one of my friends was saying they were kind of I don't know if they were like the first of their kind, but the kind that actually put the power in the creators, in the hands of the creators. They put the hands of, like, I guess I'm not sure if it's like the revenue or whatever, but pretty much you could maybe make something on it because they wouldn't take so much away from the creators. Kids, really.
Well, we will
yeah, I
still
guess-
have
Let's
to
plans
union
with my
up.
son then, yeah. But anyway.
But yeah, I just want to bring that story up because, like, yeah, that's just sort of like that's going to explode in their face. But yeah, next on to the another news story, which I think was an update because we discussed it last time, and it literally happened, I think, a day or two later. Is Sony is officially the owner of Crunchyroll now.
Yay!
The deal finally went through, so they own both Crunchyroll and Funimation. And heavily implied there's going to be some combo at some point.
Yeah.
I'll take the Sony combo with a side of Crunchyroll and some Funimation to drink, please.
Mm-hmm. And some Disney fries. Huh?
Disney fries, yes.
Yeah, that was just a quick update on that because that's gone through. We still don't know what it's going to look like, but honestly, I look forward to that. Some people are doom and gloom about it. I don't think there's anything doom and gloom, at least for the next few years. Until then, it'll probably get better numbers for us.
Well, here's what if Sony buys those two, and then what if Disney comes in and says, "Oh, I want it."
That legit would depress me if Nintendo. I mean, not Nintendo. If like Disney was like tried to buy Sony's film divisions too. I'd be like,
oh my god, yeah.
Yep. No, just you're already you're already messing up Fox. Don't no.
Exactly. You now own Star Wars, and now you own Marvel. Is there no limit to your greed?
It will never stop until it's all Disney.
Pretty much.
Until everything's Disney, and then the only enemy. Sorry.
If Disney ever required like anime, well, there goes the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
there goes the neighborhood. Everything is going to be Disneyfied and made for the kids. Yay!
Mm-hmm.
Have kids.
Yay!
But then I guess the other final news story, which I'm sure all of you have heard of and seen, is we finally got a trailer for G5.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Oh yeah.
my gosh. And wow, it actually. I'm still trying to get over the fact that it's all CG, you know, and yeah, I can't believe I'm saying it actually looks pretty good.
I'm still nervous about this because the show, it feels like they definitely aged down the show. And I don't know if that's necessarily bad yet. I'm still waiting to decide. I'll wait and see. I'm concerned, but not red flag by it.
Yeah, agree. That's a good attitude to have, you know, considering G4 is what brought us all here, you know.
We have to give everything a chance, though.
Yeah,
we have to give Gen 5 the chance with their Netflix movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Yeah. I agree. I agree. I mean, when I first heard about Gen 5, I mean, when I first started Gen 4, I mean, I went into it with a WTF attitude, and then I ended up absolutely adoring it and everything. And who knows? Maybe I'll have the same we'll have the same reaction. Who knows? I am not afraid to be proven wrong.
Me neither.
Yep, like I said, I definitely will check it out when it comes to Netflix. Did they give a release DC yet? I can't remember if they did.
Yes, they have September 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's something to look forward to next month.
Okay.
Right after my birthday.
Yeah, week after. Although, yeah, I will say, you know, the fact that the creative team is supposed to be a lot of the same people from the last
MLP movie. That's what probably makes me more nervous than anything.
I'm waiting for. I'm gonna be
No,
waiting.
it was not.
I'm gonna be waiting with bated breath.
Very try hard.
Explanation. I'm gonna be waiting with bated breath as to the explanation as to why Pegasi, unicorns, and earth ponies are not friends. I'm waiting for them to be like, okay, Gen 5, explain yourself. Why are we doing this?
Maybe it's postpone Ponyville. So it's like where the three tribes split up. I don't know.
I mean, G4 seemed like towards the end it wanted to do that they wanted to do that prejudice angle for a while, but it wanted to do it in the way that Star Versus wanted to do it, not really like making any bold, grand, or like super effective statements, like anything that were really gonna inspire kids, just sort of like vaguely gesture towards it, sort of like signal and finger point, like, hey, right, aren't we so ahead of the curve or something? We are saying, do not be prejudiced or something.
Well, we have Luca for that instead.
Oh, that's right.
We have lots of things, but I mean, like, we have a lot of shows that want to talk about social issues, and you can kind of tell which one of them are the ones that actually have something to say, and which ones want in on the credit and the revenue being reaped on the ones with something to say. And I mean, yeah, Gen 5, like, the fact that it seems like it wants to go there from the start, it's like, all right, actually go there. If you're just buying in, that's gonna bottom out on you real quick.
I'm gonna have to agree. I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. It's I know it can be done, and it can be done well. It's I don't know. I guess it's just how it's done.
Well, I guess it's like Equestria Girls. I also had to give that a chance because I was in the start like, meh, humans as
really,
ponies.
Equestria Girls kind of adequately grew into its own thing.
Yeah. So I think I'm hoping for the same here.
Yeah, Equestria Girls. It can easily stand on its. It's like one of those things that it's a tie-in and a spin-off. We already know, but in a way, it's possible to stand on its own as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And honestly, and yeah, same with Equestria Girls. I didn't go in there and be like, what? That was one where I was like, wow, I am completely open to whatever this has. And then it made me really, and then we had the Sunset Shimmer and her redemption and such. And there's some pretty good moments in that. So, hey.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Hey, Derek, can I also say something else?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was also the end for like season 2 for Tuca and Birdie that happened this past Sunday. And we got confirmation for season 3.
Well, apparently it's on better footing than Owl House season 3.
Don't remind me of the depression, Dad. Don't remind me, especially after the episode we've been through with Owl House. God. Like, okay. I never thought I would see a what if Envy turned good story in my life.
Sorry to interrupt. I just got to mute my mic for a sec. I will be right back, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Be right back.
All right, be right there. Yeah, and if no one knows who I mean by Envy, you know Full Metal Alchemist, right?
Yes.
Didn't think about that character.
Oh, okay.
The moment I realized
Are you talking about, like, I haven't seen Owl House, but I've seen clips from the season, so I know all the big highlight points. So it's good and also like bad, but also is the character talking about like 5?
Yes, 5 or V.
All right.
Or
I
V.
I didn't want to say V, but yeah, I didn't want to say that, but
yeah. I mean, either way, it's still the same thing because it means 5 in Roman.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Numbers.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I thought of like Envy, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm a genius. Give me the reference and the touchdown reference Sunday. Oh god. But yeah, that was just me like having that ever since the first time I saw the episode. Just wanted to share that out with you guys. But
All right. But yeah, it's not, yeah, like I said, that's the one show I really need to catch up on. If I did have Disney Plus, I would probably be watching it weekly, but I don't, so I'll eventually catch up with it later.
Woo.
Can be spoiled a lot, but yeah, it seems from what I've seen, season 2 seems to be a good step up from season 1.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's my guess from like spoiler stuff and just pacing and all that. All right, Gene's not.
So
back, but-
Centaurworld.
Yes.
Yeah, it's, I wanted to do, but there is
Centaurworld.
actually.
3-hour mark, Centaurworld. No, I'm just kidding.
It's not the 3-hour mark since you
No,
started.
I'm
It's
just
only
kidding.
the
I'm
2.5
kidding.
hour
I'm
mark.
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
It's only a 2.5 hour mark. An hour and a half for the actual recording. I was going to wait to Jenn to get back, but just because I wanted to bring up a fun fact about Centaurworld. Yeah, there's like 3 different things that sort of related to like MLP and Centaurworld. I just came up. One, that, like G5 and Centaurworld are both happening on Netflix.
Then number 2, Kimiko Glenn is a voice actor prominent in both franchises.
Yeah, I just want to say, yeah, well, yeah, I was going to say she's the voice of like Horse is the voice of like the main unicorn in like G5, the character that everyone's most endearing one.
Yeah,
You know
and don't forget, like the first time I heard her voice was for a character in DuckTales, in which she eventually became the Twilight in that story.
That's nice.
Yeah, her voice is forever going to be synonymous with any and all My Little Pony memes.
But I think it's so fun with the Centaurworld. It like reminds me of, llamas with hats or the Charlie the Unicorn thing. So, if you haven't seen it, you will not get the reference.
It's old school internet references, people.
Yes.
If you're young enough to listen to us podcast, try to check out some of those videos.
Well.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I'm sorry about that.
All right, but yeah, as I was saying, I was just giving a summary. Like there are some connections to G5 into our main subject of the episode, Centaurworld. One of which I already mentioned was like they're both on their Netflix series now. 2, we just went over the voice actress for Horse is the same voice actress for the unicorn with the tennis ball in G5. And then the 5th thing is like Megan McCarthy is involved in both shows.
Are you serious? She's involved in Centaurworld?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
she's
the
like the
story
story
editor.
editor. Like, yeah.
Wow.
I caught that. No one else caught it in the reviews I've seen for all of Centaurworld.
Well, the thing is, like, I think it's because it's a thing for some reason they don't try to advertise, but because they usually like to show story creators and all, they advertise it. Like, you have to sort of dig pretty far for Megan McCarthy, and even the show itself, like her name goes by within like half a second.
Wow.
Yeah. Which I'm curious, like with their story, like it's hard to say exactly what she did and adds to the show, but there's one joke later on that like is very Trixie themed joke. I really wonder if that's a carryover from her or someone who's seen MLP. I won't spoil it, but I'm just saying, like I think Carlos knows what joke I'm talking about.
Yes, I've seen. I know what you're referring to. Thank you, season 6.
Oh dear. Okay. Oh dear.
Yeah.
But I guess that launches us into our topic of the show about an hour and 30 minutes into this podcast, which is What are your thoughts on Centaurworld?
Uh-huh.
Can I just say one sentence on my thought on Centaurworld?
Go
Because
for it.
I only had time to watch the trailer. I only had time to watch the trailer, and I literally just found the Netflix password. So I'm like, okay. So then I can, okay. So I have one thought of just from the trailer. What do you get? What do you get when you get MLP, Steven Universe, what was my third one? Shoot.
Adventure
MLP,
Time?
Universe, and MLP, Steven Universe, and Adventure Time, and mix in a glitter bomb and a glitter bomb. You get this. But I do, but it's definitely something that I'm definitely going to actually want to dive into. Because for one thing, they're not, even though it's called Centaurworld, they're not focusing on just horses for the bodies. We see, like, I saw the character with a body of a llama. It looked like a llama. I was like, what?
One of them is a llama, yeah.
Mama wink, Mama wink, or like I like to call her.
That I'm calling. And
No, that's how I say her name.
Cora here.
Jenn is going to like her.
I am.
Oh god, Jenn, just trust me on this. Wama Wink is legitimately the character that's up at your speed in terms of like insanity and maternal personality.
Yeah.
Insane. You would not
you
be that.
you'll quickly find a character where you think, yeah, that's kind of me.
I'll kind of be a little terrified if I'm like, oh my god, that's kind of me. What else do they know? What do they know?
Interesting if you did. Yeah, I mean, there are some things to give it credit for character-wise. I definitely have to give it credit for the fake-out protagonist.
Oh yes, Ryder.
Yeah, definitely. I can definitely say I definitely want to give this a shot. And for one, they're not doing this typical horses. They're getting more liberty with other animals. You know.
Oh, also,
I
Jen,
mean, that seemed like. Good.
I was gonna say, Jen, for like one more pitch to you, like why you should really catch up in the show soon is you can't really tell from the trailer, but this is a musical series.
It is a musical series. I heard the music. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're gonna have music in this. Great.
Like, because I've seen the math on it, because like someone posted on YouTube like every song in one thing, and going by like the length of the show and comparing that to like the length of like all the songs, like 1/5 of this show is song. So there's more songs in MLP season 1 in this.
Oh my gosh. Well, let the dubstep remixes begin anew.
Yeah, I will say, like, that intro scene, like the I didn't get any spoilers on this show. The bit like where horse and rider are both clinging to the pendant and getting separated. There was like a moment as the magical encapsulation is going off that I was like, is this gonna be about the horse instead? Because like the fact that it's called Centaurworld, the fact that as they're getting pulled apart, it's the horse that has it. I mean, those weren't like giveaways per se, but the fact like all of it together made it on the table, like at least before they actually did what they did.
I think that's pretty interesting too, yeah.
Yeah, the fact that they were building up like that horse is the only friend, that like putting some just a little bit of agency in her character.
And there's definitely one of the songs that could have a heavy metal put onto it and work even better. I want to hear that now.
Are you talking about the Skull Crusher one?
Yeah, the Drums of Warping.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like fun. That sounds like legit fun.
Yes, it is.
So Okay, then guess I have 2 things on my queue. Watch the Suicide Squad and really dive into Centaurworld.
Because there's only like to give you a summary, there's only like 10 episodes, so it's not like a super long series, but like actually it's decently long in terms of episode count for a Netflix series as of late, but
Oh, it's not bad. Not bad at all. I'm gonna say this right now. If I end up seeing you guys in a con and I'm cosplaying as a llama, know that it's your fault.
Yay!
It'll be all your fault.
Then I'm definitely going to be a horse. No, I'm just kidding.
If I get, but I'm like some sort of big fluffy freaking pinata or whatever.
Aww,
I absolve no. I don't.
that would be adorable.
If I'm a llama, there's like it'll be all you guys' fault.
Mm-hmm.
They told me about Centaurworld. I am completely the victim here.
Mhm.
Hey.
Well, I know what Second is going to cosplay then. The zebra.
To me,
I don't know if I'll be cosplaying as
Yes.
anything from Centaurworld.
No,
To
I
me,
know.
that
I'm just
seems
kidding.
like males. Does anybody get Sakura vibes from the zebra, or is it just me?
I think
definitely a
maybe
little bit.
I definitely think it's just you guys. I don't
Maybe
get
more rarity actually.
Oh,
yeah, you
rarity
can't really
for
tell.
sure.
You can't really tell yet, but I would say more rarity later on. Actually,
Yeah.
definitely more rarity later on.
Yeah.
He's so more rarity.
The zebra. I swear, when I saw the zebra, I was like Sakura. I was like, you even have the mohawk. You even have
Oh,
that
that's true.
Sakura has. It's pretty much it's the male Sakura in my opinion. I can't help it. I've got MLP tinted glasses on it at the point.
Mhm.
Well, that is soon going to be crushed when you see what the mohawk can do.
Mhm.
As I said before, I am not afraid to be proven wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. He more reminds me of Pinky there. Actually, a little bit.
Fair enough. That's not bad.
How about that? Yeah, well, there's... Hey, something I hope I get proven wrong about.
Mhm.
The humor.
No, it's going to continue like this. It's only going to get worse.
Well, hey, I hope not worse in the sense that I mean it, because, like, alright, I'm pretty sure I didn't just get old, because on the list of things that can still make me laugh, what have I got? SpongeBob, both Ace Venturas, which have aged horribly, but still make me laugh hard. Mistake. What? The Muppets, flippin' Sesame Street could get me to laugh out loud if you show me the right sketch. Like, this has given me yet another chance to, kind of think about where, like, modern humor goes wrong for me in the way that it, well, goes wrong for a lot of past generations. The way it was, like, what? That Beavis and Butthead made a lot of people go, Gen X. That, millennial. Bathroom humor. It's, okay. When the joke is, hey, look, we're like that other sense of humor you liked. When that's the actual joke. This, like, I give this show credit for, like, trying to have a very, like, strong baseline to, like, ground itself in something for this wacky world to play off of, but, like, the second it drops in, it is like it's like the corny entertainer doing a hokey dent trying to jump up and down and make an exaggerated face and, like, flop sweat hoping they're entertaining you somehow. Just like the, what was that SpongeBob episode where Squidward is, like, granted his, wildest dream come true and he becomes handsome in a very deliberately ridiculous kind of way. Like, how would a flippin' squid be handsome with these,
Yeah, we even
ridiculous
have his face in this sense.
features and stuff and whatever. And I mean, that was a pretty funny joke. Here, they try the exact same thing and it's,
hey, look, this is what this guy thinks is handsome. Okay, then, moving on. Just like the, like, faces, the exaggerated, distorted faces, the animation, the, oh my gosh, you scare me, I'm screaming. Oh my gosh, I'm screaming what you're screaming. There's, like, no timing to any of it. It's like, the joke is, hey, it's like that other thing you thought was funny. It's like, hey, we're wacky in that way that you enjoy, right? Come be silly with us, hacking off the other thing that made it funny that other time.
Yeah, well, I had 3 instances where I thought it was funny. One where horse is trying to break out of the bubble. That was funny. Second is like where they're on the rainbow road and something happens. And the third thing is like that small centaur girl that steals stuff. Isn't she a centaur? Like she's like a small deer with like big eyes, and she has this mirror stomach. I don't remember her name, but like tummies. she's just funny.
Yeah, well, I mean, like
the bird is going on my nerves, but that's the only character that's not vibing with me right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, what helps is they do back into funny things at points. Like, yes. I mean, even just some of the one-liners, like playing with their own silliness, they can incidentally connect with something legit funny. Like heck, even something as simple as the horse first seeing the giraffe, like pausing the freak out to be like,
freak out.
Did I just make words with mouth and you understand me? And the giraffe, who is still in mid freak out himself, goes, yes. Back to it. Like, I mean, that's cheesy, but that's a joke. That's
just the way it says hello in the first scene is too. It's like cringy funny.
Yeah, so like it hits on stuff that has some pretty good punch to it at points. So it's got that going for it, and also that like the thing about this horse who is from the real world or from a more normal world playing off of them, and
I like to describe it as young adult world.
Yeah, actually that's probably a good way to put it. Yeah, horse, and then playing off the others, contrasting approaches to life and all that, like the part that's supposed to be the story, like that it's grounds itself just enough in that to like keep the other stuff, if that gets on your nerves, to keep that at bay. So like, yeah, I'm not disinterested, I'm not having a bad time, but like it's, I don't know, at best the humor's batting average is like 1 in 3.
Yeah, but it's only going to get worse.
But have you watched ahead?
No, I'm predicting.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's gonna keep trying to be all silly and cheesy and stuff, but I mean, it's like it's
going to go off the rails and over somewhere that we.
Well, I mean, that in itself is not bad. The bad part is like actually when it's too self-conscious, when it's like, wait, we need to be even more exaggerated, face cheesy, silly thing. We need to be more like a meme to get people to remember and laugh. Like that's when it gets real flop sweat, try hard, and I mean like something that's legitimately insane and good at like enjoying its own insanity can be fun. Like SpongeBob, where he's chasing the Tattletale Strangler all over the place, like still thinking he's his bodyguard as the Strangler doesn't even want to try to strangle him anymore, and apparently SpongeBob can teleport now, but who cares? Good, like Strangler dude brought this on himself. Like that's a fun slapstick bit of insanity, and that's all well and good. Like it's when you're almost not insane enough, like when you're doing the self-conscious cheesy dance, that it becomes just kind of lame.
Right.
There's also a couple of jokes where I was like, okay, this is meant to be funny, but it's not getting me. But it was more the, poop jokes and stuff like that. It just goes in a ear and out the other because it's just like, the only one that almost got me was the bath one and the push. That was kind of.
The giraffe.
Yeah,
it's too tall to get total privacy there. Yeah, that was one that hit for me.
Yeah, well, like, I was just like, okay, this almost gets me, and it's the first poop joke that I remember almost laughing at. I'm not good at poop anymore.
No. I don't know, it can work, but I mean, like, same rule there. You have to actually be funny. You can't just be late period Adam Sandler, like, hey, look, there is poop in this scene. You should laugh.
Oh, yeah. Kind of like what 8 Crazy Nights does.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
Just about. Poor Jack and Jill.
Oh, yeah.
No, there's PTSD.
Like,
it's hard to
never be clean after that.
Yeah, it's hard to sort of describe because I wouldn't say that, like, when you ask about the humor style, it's really hard to describe a humor style. It is very absurdist based, and that still continues, but I think it overall balances out. So, like, there are some moments where, like, that just make me like, wow, they really did that, and sort of absurdity humor, like, hey, Carlos, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I would say, like, one of the moments that just made me like, I can't believe they did that in terms of the absurdist humor is the one with the tree. What happened with the tree?
Yes.
I think, what, like, sort of like change happened. I was like, they really did that. The giraffe thing with the tree. That's like, wow, that's.
Yeah. There's also like some other stuff that goes on, like say, if you think Centaurworld is just about the creatures, Centaurworld is not just about the creatures.
No, that's true.
Episode 2 proves you that wrong. You know what I'm talking about.
Well, they've seen episode 2 except Jenn.
Yeah, well, yeah, like basic, yeah, Jenn, like, have you ever thought you would ever think of seeing like a natural disaster but horrified?
What fine?
A natural disaster.
It almost like looks like Nightmare Moon, but not quite.
Yeah, there is a good adventure side shaping up to this.
Mm-hmm.
A natural disaster, but what?
But a centaur, instead.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure there was
anthropomorphic disasters.
Okay. Well, I was thinking there may have been a centaur somewhere named Hurricane, but
oh, that's actually pretty close.
What? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, is there a like really cool epic like war horse kind of character that named Hurricane that summons hurricanes, and then I'm like, who are you? They call me Tim?
Almost.
Or they call me Fred, since there is a typhoon there is a hurricane right now named Fred.
Well, there's literally hurricane, so yeah.
Okay, if there's a centaur who's like named Fred or something, then guarantee the next few seconds, the next few minutes will be me laughing on the floor.
Really?
Well, the main character's named Horse, so.
Well, it could happen.
That's kind of funny.
It could happen, probably. I bet.
Mm-hmm.
But all of this is making me more curious to actually.
I will say there is a character named Doug that also has a fun
Doug.
thing.
Oh yes, uncomfortable Doug.
No, it's comfortable.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but sometimes it kind of makes you uncomfortable when you see him.
Oh,
That's
hey,
the joke.
Okay. Otherwise, though, I do have to get going, but I mean, is there anything you want to address before you move on to the spoiler territory that I wouldn't be a part of anyway?
Yeah.
no, just like, do you
It's
think
what-
you'll continue
for
on
what?
with it, or I guess not?
It is
No, I mean, I feel like, yeah, there's enough of an adventure and character-driven side here so that, yeah, the humor is not fatal here. It's like I mean, it's, like I said, yeah, lands about 1 out of 3 times. There are pauses for eye rolls here, but I mean, yeah, there's everything else. Like, there's enough energy, enough, yeah, through lines to keep it afloat. So I am curious. Like, it does have me hooked right now. I mean, but yeah, as far as whether that could become better or worse humor-wise, I mean, I've seen things go either way. Like, for example, My Little Pony with its Pinkie Pie, I thought she was the show's one-of-a-kind character for at least the first 4 or so seasons. But yeah, like with her, run, the earth is shaking, we're all gonna die, hey, this makes my voice sound silly. Like, that makes me laugh. Hey, we have lots of great rocks here. Look at this Lyra, heartstring-shaped rock. That makes me go, wow, that's stupid. So, it's like, I don't know, you never know when someone's gonna hit their stride or lose it.
So
I mean, like I said, they've already shown that they can tell a funny joke here, so
Yeah,
who knows?
I hope it's going to become more like Dave the Barbarian. Also have to show you that at some point.
Oh, I've seen bits of that.
Oh,
Not a monkey!
I like that so much.
Not a monkey.
Yeah.
I still have that freaking theme song for the opener and stuck in my head.
Yeah, if nothing else, it had that. Like, humor-wise, I think that was also kind of hit and miss.
It always gets me when he do the bird call and then oh no, it's a hammer.
Yeah, I actually would say it is very much like a lot of the humor is in that vein, sort of absurdist humor, except for faster paced with it.
Okay, so does it become better or worse than I?
Well, it had some like kind of moderately witty lines too, like Dave failing his barbarian tests. But
yes, that's amazing.
wait, what about penmanship? I'm good at that. The best penmanship ever. That's gotta count for something, right? Indeed. Penmanship is worth 70% of your final grade. What? Well, the whole thing is sponsored by a pen company.
I will say it's hard to really say with humor and all that, like because it is such, like its style of humor. A lot of it is absurdist, but I think at least I personally got more adjusted to its style as the series went on. I think it also balanced out more. The one thing I can say for certain is like the drama side, like the story underneath it, does get more focused later on in the series.
Okay, so it becomes more drama thing instead of more funny thing.
Well, I think he's saying it has like some of each as it goes along. I mean, balance is fine. Just like I'm gonna really be watching to see if it becomes funnier or not.
Yeah, we are hoping for more fun.
There's one hump where I feel like a joke is just too childish, and I think if you make it past there, I think you'll enjoy the rest of the series. But
how long do we need to go to get over that hump?
I think it's like episode 3 or 4. Like I said,
okay, yeah, we can manage that. Yeah.
When a tree happens, there'll be one joke with the giraffe one. There's gonna be a joke with him and a tree thing. You know what it is.
Oh, you mean the going to the bathroom one?
No,
it's a different one. That's like,
okay.
It was like they do something that is an ongoing like repeated joke based off from there, but like that's like the most like if you make it over that, like that's the like worst of that like kind of absurdist humor, I would say, but also sort of endearing because it literally is like literally anything can happen in a show after you get.
Fair enough.
Well, that sounds nice.
All right, but I guess you have to go to work soon, so
yes, we're going to go, and you guys have a nice time.
Good seeing y'all.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take
Have a
care.
good night. See you next time. And both Jen and Carlos are muted, so it's just me right now.
Okay, so right now.
All right, and
So, Jen?
Oh, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah. I thought we were going to go into the spoiler stuff.
yeah, that's what I want to ask Jen. Like, do you mind us going over some spoilers, or do you want to sign out too?
Is it the spoiler stuff for Centaurworld?
Yeah.
Okay, then I will actually duck out because I actually do want to see it. So, yes, I will duck out.
All right. Well, hopefully enjoy it. I literally, like I said, I do understand what Second is saying. Like the humor, the absurdity of its style can be off-putting at times, but like I adjusted to it. Like there's an absurdity to the show, which I like to summarize as basically a human and equestria story, but the human is a horse. And that is a lot of this show's humor and all, and like sort of like looking from Equestria, but from a more, if we were there, where it's just sort of like, this is sort of insane. It's like, yes, it is, but it's fun. So yeah, I said the style of humor, it is hard to get used to at times. Like I feel the overall story and like just direction of the show is very good.
Gotcha. Okay, well, I hope to see more of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and duck out. Who knows? I'll see if I can maybe watch it tonight. But I will say good night to everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
All right, I guess we can go into some spoilers for a little bit. Like spoiler warning for anyone who's still listening at this point.
Yeah, exit out all of our cast.
Yeah, though I do want to make it relatively quick, just because we've been on this podcast for nearly for 3 hours. At least on our, I mean, not too short, but like yeah. So that Trixie, that had to be a reference to the Trixie joke, didn't it?
You're talking about from No Second Prances?
Yeah.
Whole thing with whale tar. God. God.
Oh yeah, that's the one thing I don't want to sort of say when it got the drama, but like, dear gosh, like they worked in a reference to, like depression and suicide in the show. It's like, damn.
I know. Like that was the moment I'm just like, yeah, this show's not TVY7. Anyone knows that. Anyone knows if you watch Pinocchio, this is bad news. Living in a whale situation.
I also just love that. I do love the one merman was there and just like the joke at the end, and then the payoff at the final episode with the comfortable drug gug song where you see his girlfriend and is the one other like llama like centaur in the show is his girlfriend.
And it's
like they're twisting that knife.
Yes. Mama Wink does not deserve the twisting. She deserves love. She's lost so much. She deserves her merman mate. Her
Oh my
mertar
god!
mate.
Speaking of adult jokes, like they went really far with her like fetish. Like, dear gosh, they like
Yes.
the breaks at some point. No, they just kept rolling that joke on.
And I'm just like, okay, Mama Wink. I see your preferences. They're valid. They're valid reasons.
And I just loved Glendale's reaction. Like you could tell Glendale has had enough. Like she just was like, "This nope. I am done with this helping you with your kink. I am done. I am checking out. This is making me uncomfortable."
Yeah. Glendale is just a riot. I love her so much. It's just our nice, friendly little kleptomaniac.
Well, I also want to ask a question. Was because I picked this up like when not the villain, but the source was hugged Glendale during her song sequence. Didn't you instantly say, okay, she stole the wand? Were you like that, or were you surprised when she stole the wand?
Only a tiny bit, but most of me was like, yes, Glendale. Yes, Glendale.
No, but like my initial thought when because like she was going around with all those centaurs and like she at one point she like hugged Glendale. My immediate thought was like she just stole the key, didn't she? And then later it's like she randomly brings it like yep. But I did actually love how they showed her getting close enough to do that, so it wasn't as so random as it was.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like I just want to talk about the villain at the end. Like one thing I appreciate about him, like he's not loud. Like that's what I like find sort of most creepy. He's like very soft and like spoken. Like everything's like a whispering, like a lullaby voice style. It's just creepy as hell. What?
I got you. Like what specifically was creepy?
Like how his voice style. It's not like a loud villain or something like that. It's like very soft and
Mm,
it's like very like almost like a lullaby, like the lullaby song you keep hearing around him. Like it's like that
yes.
voice speaking that.
Yeah.
It's so creepy because he's this like basically death incarnate and like he has this soft lullaby like nature. It's like this is so not expected, but in a very nice way.
Yeah. Cancer version of the Lich.
Yay!
That's honestly what I was gonna say. Like I don't like Adventure Time, but one thing I did appreciate about Adventure Time is I do know about the Lich King, and I love that like direction they went with them. And like he immediately reminded me of that character.
I mean, also the beast from Over the Garden Wall, but yeah, who's counting on villains like that? But yeah, but I think I like to continue on by saying Wamawink's backstory.
Oh, that was one of those first like real moments. Actually, in terms of I really do hope they make it over the hump of like they talking farts because like the backstory like where it gets real right after that is another like showed like the contrast of this series so much.
Yeah, for Durpleton. Yeah, it's like we need to see Durpleton's father now to figure out all that stuff. But then also continuing on, it's basically it's basically is like a lot of like exploration on like the world being like an eldritch abomination transforming you against your will to accommodate into the world. And
Oh,
it's just
it's like like where it starts with a slight change. Like I barely even noticed the change in horse at first, besides the talking tail. Like it's like slightly more puffy mane. It's like this doesn't seem that much, and then like the end is like, oh, they went full MLP.
yes, yes,
And just
and
love how
then
eventually like horse embraces it. Um,
yes, Horse embraces it after going to the depressive episode and then going into the whale tar. And I'm just like, well, could not even face reality, even if her own
oh,
reality was being altered one by one by one by God dang one.
I don't want to like say it now because I don't think it will happen necessarily because I don't think we'll see as much of Ryder as I want to. But I will laugh out loud if like the thing with Ryder essentially becomes a magical girl.
That would be hilarious.
Because
But
I seen
also,
the key that was also like a staff thing. I was like, that looks like a magical girl like main weapon. That very much gives me that vibe.
oh God, we go Madoka Magica up in here.
Oh.
Be
I
gone,
will say
no
like
wicked.
one thing like I was like, please let Ryder not be dead, and like I'm so happy like yes, I love the payoff and I love how there's going. I do hope we get to see more of Ryder because Ryder is still that sort of like voice of reason, that sort of like absurdity, like normalcy and no absurdity. That's what I really like about this because there is a contrast. Where like it literally is like, yeah, this world is crazy and whimsical and wacky, but also it is worth protecting sort of thing.
Mm, Uh, I yeah. Also, when it came to like the reunion, that was like the most emotional I was ever in the show. I was just like, oh God, it's don't recognize each other. God dang it! It's like stabbing you with a knife multiple times, and then getting that happy catharsis in the end before the Nowhere King came in. I'm just like, I loved everything out of that scene. I loved it. You know?
Yep. And
It-
like I said,
mhm.
again, I like to say it was hard to describe the humor because like I really do feel like you do adjust to the humor as the series goes along because it is a very like its regular humor is very bombastic and
Mhm.
childish to a degree, but you sort of have to embrace the chaos as the series goes along. 'Cause like I said, there is a series. That's what I said I really like about the series is that it basically wraps a serious story with like these sort of like wacky, like I said, like a very like human in equestria like fanfic story, but with a horse instead of a human, which I know there are those stories too. Um, but yeah, that's and I get really don't like there's a contrast there, but it uses that contrast well.
Yeah, so I guess that's really everything I gotta say for spoilers.
Yeah, and also yeah, I'm sort of getting tired too, so it's hard for me to think. But like, yeah, that I really cannot wait for season 2 because I feel like they're going to even ramp it up more. Um,
Oh god, with like Water Baby, a company rider, what sort
I,
of
I, I,
shenanigans?
I, I, I I don't like to say like we need like see something in the show, but like I really, really want to see basically one spin-off episode that is focused on Water Baby and Ryder bonding. And
Yeah, it's just
I really want to see that. The one like there's only a few things I can expect from season 2. One thing the one thing I will expect is like that one villain that was not actually murdered. Um,
yes.
he's going to become a good guy. I just know it.
I mean, yeah, I mean, like the world will affect him since he's still there with the knife
And I have a
stab.
feeling the key to that will be what's the giraffe's name?
Durpleton.
Dirpleton. Dirpleton, I feel that will be probably his sort of big role is basically converting him.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that dark joke where like is like, oh, you forgot this too, and then she like threw out the knife from her chest back in the wound is like, dear God, like that made me like jaw dropped at that scene. Like,
It's not a kid show. It's not a kid show with jokes like this with actual weapons. I'm sorry, it's not. This is the new era. If you could show this on like Netflix for kids, there might be
well,
a
it's like the
growing.
new era, but it's like going back to the old era, like to the old like because like they like some of the Looney Tunes if we break apart their stuff, like the original Looney Tunes are very dark, and even stuff like Courage the
Yes.
Cowardly Dog got dark too. But we also got like softing, like those are more the exception than the norm as it went along, and this is more of a return to, yeah, we can get very dark.
Uh huh. Uh huh. Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah, I
yeah.
look forward to honestly like depending on how like I really hope. I'm not sure how Second will enjoy the series or Day. I'm pretty sure Jen will love it, but
Yeah, Jen will love it for sure. They maybe like 75% so. Second, he's a wild card. We don't know. We don't know if he's gonna fall in love with like the seriousness of the story, or he's just gonna be middling about it because of like all the factors.
yeah, I really like that's what I said. Like I think the big hump will be literally the talking farts. Um,
Hmm.
that's like where the absurdity humor really. That's like the moment like that was almost a bridge too far for me. Where I just sort of like it literally broke me in some way, but sort of in a good way. Like,
Hmm.
uh,
Yeah.
but I guess
Um.
with that said, see you next time, and I think maybe we found something to react to in the future whenever season 2 gets released eventually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully a wild card with that because dear gosh, we still do not have any sort of date on Dragon Prince.
Oh God. Yeah. So with that, I'll like to say ciao to everyone watching us. I hope you have a pleasant evening.
Yeah. Good night.
Hmm.